involves a needle and toxic drug. Does this ring a bell to you? I can assure you that you're certainly not alone if it does. Okay, now for the ultimate question you found yourself asking again and again. How do some women stay so young and look so beautiful for their age? Like my best friend Mona, who ages like fine wine. Her eyes have no sight of crow's feet, her cheeks are high and plump, and her jawline is well defined. She always looks good in all her pictures and at any time of the day, even without any makeup or moisturizers. I actually recall one night from when we were 30. We went out to meet some friends at a bar, and the bouncer at the door looked at me and let me in without saying a thing, and then looked at her and asked for ID, and looked at her again before letting her in. He assumed I was old enough to go in and had to think twice if she was legal age. Even today, she's always asked to show ID because people assume she's so young. After speaking to countless women, I discovered a method that, once it is accepted, will enable you to obtain beauty that make other women envy you. So, are you ready for the secret? Okay, this is going to sound too effortless for you. I mean, it sounded too simple for me to believe even. That was up until I discovered how effective it turned out to be. The reason why some women, like the stunning celebrities I mentioned earlier, or like my best friend Mona, have the ability to cheat the aging process and appear years younger with a smooth, radiant complexion, while other women don't, has nothing to do with expensive skincare products they topically apply onto their skin, and it strays far from injections and surgical procedures. How? Like I said, this is going to sound all too effortless. But here it is. Why you've lost on the genetic lottery and are not able to appear years younger as you want to be isn't because of the right product, but because of malnourishment to your body. The average American consumes 3.7 pounds of food on a daily basis. On the other hand, we apply an ounce or two of beauty products on our bodies every day. What do you suppose has the greatest impact? Over 90% of women are uneducated upon what to eat to nourish your skin cells to regenerate firm and a tight new layer of skin properly. As simplified as this sounds, it is evident. There really is a method of feeding yourself younger every day, a way to cease wrinkles and transmit a surge of collagen to tighten and restore your neck, jawline, lips, cheek, and forehead. There are also foods to dissolve age spots and skin discoloration, as well as divert sun-damaged skin. Don't forget, hair and nails are also a part of the skin as well. Therefore, not only is it attainable to feed your way to a facelift, but you will also notice having stronger, longer nails, and your hair suddenly unveiling a glossy finish, and you will probably have to replace your current shampoo and conditioner as a result of growing long, full, and thick hair. The story was the same with hundreds of women I've helped. By adjusting simple things with their food resulted in them throwing away the dozens of beauty products in their medicine cabinets and dressers. Not only have women transformed with this, but they've gone from this to this. And what is really awful is how most women were making big mistakes without even realizing it. Mistakes that cause them to age more and more with every meal, carving existing lines deeper on their faces with each mouthful. The big secret to the glowing, smooth, and clear skin without the time-consuming morning and bed routines is straightforward and simplistic. It is to understand how to deprive and diminish old, dying skin on the surface and feed new, healthy skin to the surface in a way that makes it enjoyable for you, like you're indulging in a cheat meal at every meal. Allow me to explain why, upon being born, our body naturally generates tons of collagen. Collagen is responsible for making our skin firm and youthful. As we mature and develop into our mid-20s, our body's natural production of collagen decreases every year. And due to gravity pulling harder on your eyelids, cheeks, jawline, and neck, our skin loses its moisture, and dry lines come to be permanent and wrinkles become present. What most women are unaware of is that our body is still constructing new cells every day, as your body did when you were a child. Therefore, by providing nourishment to the growth of new cells with great collagen, we legitimately revive a younger version of ourselves. However, the same as any part of our body, it needs the correct nutrition to do so. No creams, ointments, or treatments can take the place of food. Think of it this way. If a man wanted to build more lean muscle, he couldn't do it without proper nutrition, right? With skin, it is exactly the same. Skin depends on the food you consume more than any other part of your body. Why? Because skin is the largest organ you have. Upon aging, we form creases, lose our firmness and elasticity, and it is because our dermis is losing its moisture, turning thinner and getting looser. Our dermis is conjointly where our hair follicles are. When our dermis begins to deteriorate or wear out, it influences our hair as well. Imagine it like a grape. You can't make the soft, spongy interior healthier by applying chemicals on the thinner exterior surface. You would have to manipulate the interior to grow a healthier, firm outer layer. Once the grape is plucked from the vineyard, it loses its source of nutrients, and it becomes dependent on the inside flesh of the grape, and over time begins to rot. For that same reason, it also means applying collagen creams on the outside of our skin, with hopes of it invigorating fresh cells to the surface, is illogical. Collagen creams are scams made with sneaky marketing tactics. They just don't show results, because collagen can only be produced from beneath the dermis. Before I tell you why, do you know the 3 reasons why those within the cosmetic industry, no doctor or dermatologist will tell you this? First, once you see how easy it is to nourish yourself, to fade away wrinkles and appear 20 years younger with your next meal, you'll never go back. Secondly, the beauty industry would lose a lot of profits if exposed. And the third reason women have not been educated about these facts is the hardest to believe. It is solely because through the course of their entire medical training, doctors are not taught this. At the most, they only receive a few hours of training on nutrition. I asked various doctors, and they said that the foods we indulge in, such as fries, pizza, chocolates, are not responsible for our skin's troubles. I'm sure you're just as upset as I am. And by the chance you ask your doctor, and they give you the same response, maybe you should ask them for a valid response. Not too long ago, doctors prescribed time in the sun, mild skin irritations like eczema and acne. We all know the dangers of UV radiation, such as the effects it has on the skin, eyes, immune system, and also damaging collagen fibers and expediting the aging process. You see, the medical industry isn't always correct. I can relate to you. We put a great deal of trust into dermatologists and even the sales associates that sell us these treatments. And the fact you haven't been enlightened about this by your dermatologist that you've trusted so much can make you experience deceived and cheated as I felt. But guess what? There's good news. The good news is now you're going to learn how to reduce easily any skin condition by following a few steps with foods that you probably already have in your kitchen right now. Want to know something even more incredible? Among all of the foods that can alter your appearance, there's a nutrient found in one type of food that exhibits the greatest impression to reduce great signs of aging. One food type provides the big lie of collagen creams are scams. I'll tell you how. It was around that time is when Mona's grandmother was visiting from Lebanon. You remember Mona, the flawless one, who always looked so picture ready? When she introduced me to her grandmother, I thought it was some joke. The grandmother could have easily passed for a 40-year-old mother. Her lustrous, long, thick black hair was in a low chignon bun. Her olive complexion. Never have I seen skin like that before. I couldn't even find a hint of dryness in her skin. She had a deep, endless glow. Her brown, almond-shaped eyes had a twinkle in them, and anyone who met her could see she was sharp as a tack. I was in shock when I found out she was 80 years old. I was dying to know her secret. The next few days, I was spending more time around Mona's house in hopes of finally being able to work up the courage to respectfully ask her grandmother how she was able to look so young. One evening, we were sitting around having wine and cheese at Mona's house with her mother, aunt, and, of course, her grandmother. She asked me what I use for my skin. I was embarrassed as I told her about the several products I lather on every morning and night. She then said, "You're my granddaughter's age. But you look too old and you're too young." I laughed to hide my humiliation. She disappeared and came back with a mug and said, "Drink this for your skin." So I took a taste. It was some tea that had an aroma of something I'd never smelled before, but it was pleasant. My skin, without a doubt, cleared up. It looked even supple, and guess what? It glowed. I thought this broom-like reveiw was an enchanting plant that was delivered by some rare unicorn. But what I discovered was it was merely a legume plant family and genetically occupies highest amounts of rich antioxidants, a component that is vital. Not only vital to slow down aging, but reversible visible signs of aging. You can feel free to throw away all of your vitamin C supplements and collagen creams now. Antioxidants are essential for tight, toned, and youthful-appearing skin. Our typical American diet couldn't nearly give us enough antioxidants to make any difference in our skin. But taking supplements is not beneficial for skin because our bodies can only absorb at the maximum 10% of it. And you can only consume so many supplements before you result in stomach pains. Also, I started researching and examining various nutrients containing miraculous substances in the product section of that grocery store that thrive to benefit our skin. And more valuable, I was able to find out foods that actually accelerated aging. It's like I had my fountain of youth down the street. There's something in every aisle and every shelf that can solve any beauty dilemma you've been dealing with for the past years. After multiple experiments with these foods, I discovered myself doing something I never imagined I could. I walked into work with a little mascara and a whole lot of confidence. I remember going into the ladies' room, and there was this beautiful college intern washing her hands next to me. I looked at my reflection in the mirror and smiled. I was there looking at the clearest, smoothest, and luminous complexion I'd ever had. I didn't feel like a prune standing next to her. In fact,